Hello everybody, and welcome to part 2 of Grid Talk 3. So, as mentioned in the Grid Talk video, I'm gonna expand on some of the points, and this is information that came up in conversation when I had questions for the grid about the message that was coming through, and also some of this is my personal experience, so yeah. So, and as always, take what resonates and leave the rest. So, talking about distractions, I mean, we all know there's like an endless list of distractions. We got news and sports and online shopping and Facebook, Instagram, TikTok scrolling and adding more things to our plate, like being overdoing and keeping busy all the time. Those are all distractions, all things that I'd be willing to bet none of them add value to our lives and probably detract from our lives. Obviously, there are things that we have to do, but distractions are just that, and they distract you from your mission and your purpose. All of them do. But I'm going to touch on the ones in the spiritual community because they're a little trickier, harder to see. And so this could be transmissions, a podcast interview, retreats, courses, communities. I have some notes here, just making sure I cover everything. So, but I'll come back to this. So, I've been getting this sense kind of when I tap into the collective energy, also when I speak to clients as well as friends, that there's a portion of the population that kind of fits into this, like, have I been left behind? Or like, where are my gifts? Like, why is nothing happening? Why is nothing changing for me on my spiritual journey? And starting to feel a little left out. I mean, how many of you experience special dates? Be it a new moon, a full moon, a portal date, an equinox, a solstice, a planetary alignment, fill in the blank. And this energetic shift, or this timeline jump, or this intuitive gift, or this whatever is gonna boom slap you across the face with a spiritual awakening. And one of those dates comes and it goes and nothing has changed. Anybody experience that? I do. I'd say probably more often than not, it feels like any other day. So I personally have had to learn to just like not put so much attachment onto the dates, because yeah, me personally, I had to steer away from prediction videos and stuff because I was just getting frustrated, and because none of these predictions were ever happening. Because like the grid said, timelines are shifting all the time. Our frequency is shifting. There are so many things going on, and so sometimes a prediction is tapping into a specific timeline event. And now we're no longer on that timeline, or you're no longer on that timeline. So then it's kind of a moot point, right? Anyway, so I feel like there is a group out there that's probably larger than you think, who's like, nothing is happening. And I hear ya, because I'm one of those people, and I don't know. Or for me, it's subtle. It's very subtle. And the only reason that I notice is because I've been doing the things that I'm about to talk about. I have spent a lot of time meditating and tuning in and kind of honing in on my gifts. And so yeah. Okay. So my next point is about comparing yourself to others. I mean, we all know it's a big no-no to go on Facebook and look at someone's profile and compare your life to what they have on their profile page, because it's not apples to apples. You know, their orange is like a 5% truth, where the other 95% is a complete train wreck. And so you're comparing your life to their 5% of truth and getting all depressed and, you know, down on yourself about your life and how much it sucks. And so we all know we're not supposed to do that, right? But are you doing that in the spiritual community? Are you comparing your spiritual journey to someone else's? And are you comparing your gifts to someone else's? Don't do yourself that injustice, okay? Because we are all on a different path. It is all in divine timing, and our gifts are all so different. Okay? I know that like a lot of people that channel are very, very clairvoyant. They see very clearly, or they're very clairaudient, and they hear, and those are like, it seems like there's probably more people that have those gifts than not, but I think it's just maybe there's more of them on social media than not. My first intuitive gift that came online that I know of is my clairsentience, my clear feeling. And my other one is claircognizance. And so I have a number of different ways that I can tune in and get yeses and nos through clairsentience. And then the claircognizance comes in and helps me know which questions to ask those yes or no questions too. So, yeah, not so obvious. And like, it just, I think the clairsentience came in one night when I was at work, you know, like working third shift. And like, I started noticing I would get crown activations when I was like talking to myself. There's nobody around, talking to myself. I'm asking a question and I would get a tingle on my head, crown activations. And then I'm like, I'd feel it again. I was like, wait a minute, was that a yes? And then I get another one. And I discovered that that is how my team of light was telling me yes to my questions. So yeah, don't compare yourself to others. And I feel like the inclination is to, once you start to feel like, well, why isn't anything happening? You tend to want to go on YouTube or what have you. I only do YouTube. I don't have any other social media. So that's what I'm most familiar with. And to take in more spiritual community content, right? And so what the grid was talking about in the channeled message was, no, don't do that. Do the opposite. Take in less and tune in more. Because you are your own teacher. Everything you need is already within you, waiting to be accessed and activated. And it's going to happen regardless of which course or podcast or session you book. Now, that's not to say that a certain practitioner or something, or some transmission or event or what have you, can't help things along faster. I'm just saying there's multiple ways to go about it. But what I want you to do, and what the grid is asking you to do, is to tune in and ask, is this course for my highest and greatest good? Is it for my highest and greatest good to go on this retreat to this place? Is this community, is it for my highest and greatest good to join this community or to watch this video? And listen to the answer and follow the answer you get. You know, if you get a no, then move on to something else. If you get a yes, then hey, go for it. You know, I mean, I'm not saying don't book sessions. I had to book one a couple weeks ago, actually, with one of my teachers, and I was having some problems with my shoulder. It was energetic, but it was something that it was too close to home for me to be able to take care of. So yeah, sometimes you do, when you hit a wall, when you need help getting through something, or when you feel stuck, like sessions with the right practitioner are 100% do it. You know, just tune in and ask first. Don't just sign up for every person that offers a session and every course that you see, because it's not going to be money well spent. I can't tell you how many times I have signed up for some 3-day course and then I get into day 1 and I'm like, why am I even here? It's not helpful, and I don't go to the other 2. You know, I have purchased transmissions or events or what have you that I still haven't watched yet. When I was earlier in my spiritual journey, I took in so much information. I subscribed to a lot of channels, and eventually I hit a point where it was information overload. I couldn't take it, and I was overwhelmed. I was starting to get anxious, and then I found that people whose videos I used to watch, like I couldn't finish watching them anymore, and I started noticing a pattern. So I was like, oh, I need to unsubscribe. Like we no longer resonate. It doesn't mean that their content is bad, although we'll say there are some people that really lack authenticity in the spiritual community, and that's just a fact. So I also will tune in with that. I'll give you some examples. Like, I'll get real. Let's say that I'm at an event or at a retreat or something. I don't know. And there's somebody there that like really irritates me. And I keep thinking, well, what is it about this person that, you know, what is it about me? What is it that's bothering me so much? You know, are they a mirror? Is there a reflection? Anyway, more often than not lately, I've been actually finding that it's people being inauthentic that creates this uneasiness and irritation within me. And so then once I kind of realize what's going on there, then I can switch that into compassion, you know, depending on what the situation is, or just, you know, if it's someone being inauthentic and they're making money off of it and, you know, doing it at people's expense, then not cool. I don't consent to this, and, you know, I turn it off. And yeah, and there's also been some that, like, now, this didn't used to happen, but now I will get, if I try to watch certain content, I will get anxious or physically ill. Like I will feel sick to my stomach. And that is my body saying, nope, we're not watching this. So, and I'm okay with that. I'm all right with that, because honestly, there was a point I was spending way too much time listening to other people's information, and it's conflicting information at that, you know, which is, for someone that's, you know, new to their spiritual journey, or, you know, it's just, I'm even not new, but like, especially people that are new within the first couple of years, like, that's just really doing a disservice, you know? So, yeah, okay. So, back to you are your own teacher. So just ask first, is this for my highest and greatest good? And if it's not, then don't. Now, also, I want to touch on the amount of time that we spend. So let's say this ends up being a 20-minute video, and this is all you watch of another outside source's content, right? Well, then strive for, at minimum, a balance. You spend 20 minutes watching this video, then you're going to spend at least 20 minutes meditating or going outside connecting with nature, automatic writing, something tuning in, doing meditation. I'm going to post a couple of videos on some things that I do. But ideally you are spending more time tuning in than you are taking in content from outside sources. That's what you want to strive for. Okay. Okay. Yes, I think that's all. So what I'm going to do is I have a couple of videos. I know 2 for sure, maybe 3 videos that I'm going to, they'll be short, under 5 minutes, where I explain kind of things that I do to help to tune in. Yeah, keep an eye out for those. Also have an announcement coming up about an event that I'm going to have on April 30th, a free live event with a very dear friend of mine. That announcement should come up in a couple of days. I'm working on getting the event posted on my website first. But then the official announcement will be up, and it's free, but I want people to register so you can get the link. I also need to make sure that my event system works for when I do future events. So, all right, I think that's it. So much love to you all, and see you soon.